When UNSCOM did eventually find its smoking gun, it came from a most unexpected source, the family of President Saddam Hussein. Here's the way it happened. In August of 1995, Saddam Hussein's two sons-in-law, together with his daughters, defected. One of them, Hussein Kamel, had been in charge of Iraq's secret weapons concealment operations. He started to reveal the inner workings of the Iraqi armaments program as soon as he arrived in Jordan. Quote, "We were ordered to hide everything from the beginning, and indeed a lot of information was hidden, and many files were destroyed in the nuclear, chemical, and biological programs," Kamel told CNN after his defection. These were not individual acts of concealment, but they were the result of direct orders from the Iraqi head of state, unquote. Baghdad moved quickly to defuse the situation. What's the situation? His son-in-law defected and began to spill his guts. Baghdad moved quickly to defuse this situation. They turned over a hoard of documents. What was their motive for turning over the hoard of documents? And what were the circumstances of the turning over of these documents? A hoard of documents. They turned over a hoard of documents claiming that Kamel had stashed them away on a chicken farm without the authority of Saddam Hussein. The boxes contained a treasure trove of information on every aspect of Iraq's weapons programs. Undoubtedly, we still have those documents. It is generally believed that the Iraqi government feared that Kamel, the son-in-law, who defected and fled to Jordan and began to spill his guts, it is generally believed that the Iraqi government feared that Kamel would reveal a number of things from Jordan, and that they decided that they would preempt this, that they would discover, quote-unquote, the files in the chicken farm and place the blame on him, explains Dr. Hans Blix, executive chairman of the UN Monitoring and Verification Commission. UNSCOM now had a detailed roadmap of Iraq's biological and chemical weapons concealment program. After the disclosures, Kamel hoped he would find a new life outside Iraq. But Kamel's hope turned to despair. After weeks languishing in Jordan as guest of the late King Hussein, the two brothers who had married Saddam's daughters, these two brothers allowed themselves to be lured back home with promises of mercy. It was a fatal mistake. They died in a shootout in Baghdad. The incident was later described in Iraq as a family matter. Saddam killed them. CNN was willing to disclose these kinds of details in 2001. CNN and the other media conspirators totally distorted reality after 2003. Case in point, Saddam did have a rudimentary nuclear weapons program. Fact. The Israelis bombed his nuclear facilities, a complex designed to produce enriched uranium, which of course has two uses, one peaceful and one not peaceful. True, Saddam retained a supply of enriched uranium, but it was known to the West, and it was under the control of the West. He wasn't able to divert any of this toward any other purpose. Therefore, he sought enriched uranium from various places. The former president of Niger, a country which mainly derives its income from the export of uranium ore or yellow cake, confessed and confirmed that Saddam's representatives had attempted to make a deal with him personally. Yet when former Ambassador Joe Wilson was sent to talk to him afterwards, Wilson initially confirmed in his debriefing after he returned from this trip that he did, in fact, discover hard evidence that Saddam was shopping for yellow cake. At the same time, somebody released forgeries of documents. And of course, the forgeries were revealed to be forgeries, thus casting doubt on George Bush and sweeping aside the confirmation made by the president of Niger, the former president of Niger, that Saddam's representatives had been trying to make a deal with him about the purchase of yellow cake, uranium ore, which could be refined into which could be refined and made into bomb grade uranium, highly enriched uranium. And then we had the Valerie Plumet affair. And supposedly, George Bush was discredited, and supposedly his right-hand man, Scooter Libby, was convicted of a conspiracy or lying or something. If you are operating under the conviction, as I do, that the communists, not the liberals, but the communists, have infiltrated our media in a major way, so that our media continually distorts reality in front of the American people, the American voters, then you begin to see the events of the Iraq invasion, the weapons of mass destruction, Saddam Hussein, George Bush, in an entirely new light.